Alright guys, how's it going today? So everybody's out mowing today. Except me. I'm hoping to mow tomorrow, which will be Saturday for me, but I don't know. Today's a pretty good day to do it, but I got other plans. So sunny out and no wind. There's a breeze, which you kind of want anyway, but I don't think I'm going to do it today. It needs to be done. It hasn't been quite 7 days yet. It's about every 7 days I gotta mow, which could be probably a little quicker than that, I guess. But I don't know. We've had a lot of rain, so like I said, that last rain we got about 2.5 inches. So in our my basement's obviously flooded, and we put the rain barrel out, to catch some rainwater for when we plant stuff in our pots and stuff. We already did a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit more tonight too. And then other stuff too. So, but yeah. So, plenty of rain, so things are going to grow pretty well. So, whatever. So, a little update on the grain truck. I will not be getting new tires for the front anyway, because the guy that I talked to that gets tires, I don't know, I think he's only got, so many tire guys that he can get tires from, but they sent over some tires because they weren't sure, I told them what I was looking for, but apparently they couldn't find the exact ones that I was looking for. So they sent some that were a little bit bigger, and they sent some that were, I think they were the right size, but the problem with them is that they were military tires, and I don't want military tires on my truck because it's not a military truck. The tires, they look brand new, so I think they were brand new, but they're military style tires, and I don't want that because that's not a military truck. If it was a military truck, then that'd be a different story, but it's just a regular international L130. It was, at some point in its life, it was converted to be a small grain truck, so it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to go online and buy them at some point. I found one place that's selling them. They're selling two different kinds. They're the exact size I need, but one is just a steer tire, which is what you probably need on the front, and then the other ones are actual traction type tires, so you can get grip when you're driving through mud and stuff. They're still a highway tire, but they're more of a truck style tire, which is what I want for the back. The front, it doesn't really matter. You could get away with just steer tires on the front, unless it was a 4-wheel drive truck. Then I probably would be putting those type of tires, the truck style tires all the way around. But since it's only technically a 2-wheel drive, but it's got duals, I'm just only going to put them on the rear and then put the regular steers on the front. But the problem is with those is that they're $190 a piece. They ship within a couple days, and the shipping, I think, is only like $15. So I think that's for your complete order too. So not bad, but you're still talking, a lot of money, and that's just for one tire, never mind two. So I don't know. I might try for it maybe in August. I don't know. Maybe try to get at least 2 tires here anyway. I'm not going to do the duals anyway this year. I'll probably do them next year. Or I'll probably buy maybe over winter or something. I don't really know. But yeah. So it's an unfortunate thing. That guy said there that for the style tire that I want, they're pretty much uncommon, that you don't really see them anymore. Well, I don't know what people do that need new tires for their trucks like this, because there are a lot of people out there that do save these trucks and they either restore them or they actually fix them up good enough to be used, like what I'm doing. So there's got to be somebody out there that still makes these type of tires, even though it's not going to be a very common. Nobody's going to just have this on a shelf at a tire shop. It's just not going to happen. Well, that's understandable, but I can find them online. Okay, like I said, I found one company that sells them, but they were very limited on stock too. So they may not even be there when I want to order them. So, because I can't do it now because I got to save up money for this guy. I got to get this thing fixed up, and then after that, I don't know. I got to try to save up money for the cab for the John Deere, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen either because that's, $1,200 right there plus shipping and handling probably too. So what do you do? So I don't know. For right now, we're just going to not go with tires. There's nothing I can really do about it. So, but it is what it is, unfortunately. He tried, though. So, I'm just going to have to order them online. And he said that he would try to install them. But he said that they're a cocksucker because of how it's like a two-piece rim. You have that ring. So he says that a lot of people have been fucked up by them. Which is true. I've heard that too. That a lot of people can get pretty destroyed if those things happen to shoot off. I don't know if you could just, when you're about to seat the tire, maybe just wrap it in some straps. Put a couple of straps on there. Snug them down and then put air to it, and then once it's all caught up, and the ring's not going to fly anywhere, then you could take the straps off. But that's the only thing I can think of too, is just put a couple of straps around it, and then inflate the tire, make sure it all stays in place, and then be done with it. So, but that's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, so unfortunately for that part, we're not going to get new tires because the ones that he did order were not the right ones. And then the other ones were military style tires, and I don't want them because they're not going to look good on my truck. So, just have to let it go, I guess, for now. I'll have to, I guess, whenever I come up with the funds for that, buy a couple of steer tires and then see if he can do them. And then I guess next year we'll do the duals then. I'll probably do the inner sides first, get them done and over with because they're going to be the most cocksucker to deal with. So we'll do the outer ones later. So, anyways, I picked up just a couple things here. I went to my local John Deere dealer too and got me some oil and stuff for the John Deere. And yeah, they had some nice little tractors sitting around a lot. I took a couple pictures of the ones that I liked the most. If I remember, I'll post them in the picture. But one was of a 1025R. That was a brand new tractor too. And I don't know what the other model number was, but it's a little bit of a bigger tractor. It's got a loader and stuff on it. And they all have tillers on them too for some reason. And the other thing that I found hilarious is that there is an X724 for sale there as well. It's the exact twin to mine. The year, I don't know. I never looked at the serial tag on it, but I don't. Like I said, I'm not sure on the year. But that tractor actually is in pretty good shape. It's in a lot better shape than mine, that's for sure. Mine would be in a lot better shape if the cats hadn't chewed the shit out of the seat. So, I mean, I got a few scratch and dings in it, but it's a working mower. It's not meant to look pretty. So, but what are you gonna do? So, but that one had a bagger on it. So, should have see if I could just buy the bagger off it because I kind of might have one for mine, but whatever. So, but that 1025R, that would be my next tractor if I could get it. I think that would be my next one. I don't think I would sell the X724 because then the X724 would just be my mower tractor. 1025R would be the loader, tiller, snowblower, and stuff like that. So that would be my hard working tractor. So, but what are you gonna do? So, no clue on what the price is because they don't have a sticker on them. So, if you got to go inside and ask for that, but I'm not gonna bother. So, anyway, I went to the hardware and grabbed a couple things. One is I just bought some more paint. This is just some matte white. That's for my signs. Because I got a couple down here on the floor that I gotta work on yet. So, and I'm just about ready to start doing that too. Put my signs back up because the river has dropped quite a bit. It's still all in the low spots, but it's, I would say, down to the to the fence line there now. It's getting right up to the tree line. It's up to the fence line right now, but it'll probably go down a little bit more yet. So, but yeah, so it'll be time to go on that probably in another few days to try to start cleaning at least that corner of the dike out, get the ramp open more and whatever else. So, and I bought 2 cans of that. I think the price of these damn things went up too. So 2 should be enough for what I got to do right now. And I bought this tool here, or these tools, because there's 3 of them, but the ones I seen online were 4, but this was only a 3-pack. But unfortunately, I've kind of had to buy them. So where the hell can I put this damn thing? Oh, there he goes. I had to buy them because I took a picture of this too, but unfortunately I'm tearing the little Farmall A apart, the motor. So, because it's still stuck on that one fucking cylinder and all the other ones are fine, so I'm not sure what the hell's wrong with that one cylinder, but I gotta get the stinking head off. I got everything off but the damn head, because the head is like literally like cement glued on, and I don't have a good breaker bar to bust it open and get it out enough. So I was gonna maybe try to use this, which probably would still work, but it's not really designed for that. I got a tool like this, but it's more of a tire changing tool. We got 2 of them here. Get out of here, you're not coming in here. See, then I got something like this too, right, to kind of help. But that's more for changing out tires, but I was thinking maybe I'd use them to see if I could, beat it in there more so I could get the stinking head off. But I ain't gonna need these because I found some better ones at the hardware. I found them on Northern Tool. They had a 4-piece set, but the hardware didn't have, but he only had a 3. So, but more than good enough for me, I think. So, really nice little spot off, because my freaking bench is still a disaster. It'll never get clean because I never have time. So I bought some real stinking breaker or pry bars. These actually have the end on them where you can, hit it with a hammer. So these, you got a 12-inch, 17-inch, and a 25-inch length, bar. So yeah, I don't know. Because that old Farmall head there is definitely giving me trouble. See if I can get him out here. I don't know how you get him out, but get something like that. So, because I need a better way to remove that stinking head. Because unfortunately I'm not getting anywhere with just the tools that I have. Yeah, so this is the 25-inch. This is a pretty big guy too. So he had other types too, but I wanted one with the handle on it, and then it had the beady end. So this will just go into my toolbox as well, with all the other, it'll go in my toolbox. So And then this is the 17-inch, I believe. That's probably the one I'm going to use. So that's the brand of the tool. I don't know how good they are, but you know. So whatever. So that's the 17-inch, and then this little guy is the 12-inch. So yeah, come on, yeah, and that's your little 12-inch. But the one I seen on Northern Tool, they had a four piece. This is just a 3-piece. But the next smallest one, I think, was an 8-inch or a 6-inch, something like that. That was much tinier. But yeah, and we don't have tools like this at the farm either. Why we don't, I have no freaking clue. You think a farm would have all the tools you would ever need, but our farm's a little bit smaller than I guess most, so we don't have all the big fancy tools. But we do kind of now. We're getting there a little bit, so with time we'll have all the tools we need, but it'll just cost us money. So yeah, so that's the biggest one. That's gonna really do some damage. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I bought, really. That's really all I kind of needed for right now. I need some more chemical, obviously, but I'm not gonna get any of that right now. I guess I'll put these tools back because I don't need them either. So, but yeah, it sucks that I have to tear that Farmall apart. It's not something I wanted to do, but I don't think I really have much. I don't really have any other choices. I could just let it sit and sit and sit, but I mean, I just don't think it's ever going to come free on its own. It's just, you know. And some people are saying not to drag it like we've been dragging it. We've only done it once since we pulled it out, but people are saying not to do that because you could damage something else and it would cost more to fix it, you know. I don't know. Those tractors are pretty strong. You know, they're a pretty small tractor. They're still pretty powerful for how small they are. So, but the tractor leaks anyway. The whole rear end leaks oil. I think the seals are out, but that's a hell of a big fucking job, and I don't know why I ever want to take that on. I don't even know if our local Case IH dealer would ever want to take on that, because these tractors are just so damn old, and they probably ain't even going to know much about them. So you'd have to probably take it to another farmer that is more familiar with those older tractors, and then just, you know, pay them to do it. It's not something I'd probably be willing to do, because it's way too much work and it would cost a lot of money. So, but what are you going to do? But that's the least of my concerns right now, because it's not even running. So, but that's what I had to do with the grain truck too. The reason I had to tear the head off of that was because I dropped a stick down the cylinder wall. So that's what made me want to take the head off, because I had to get my stick out, because if I didn't, well, it would just destroy the motor. So, but the engine on the grain truck, that only sat for a couple of weeks in oil, you know, the cylinders, and then it started popping free. So, but the Farmall, I don't know. I don't know why the Farmall is so stuck, because it's only one cylinder. As far as I know, it's only one cylinder. I only blame it on that one cylinder because that's the only one that hasn't dried up yet, because it's still full of my 50-50 mix. All the other ones, the stuff has leaked through, so that tells me that the cylinders are not stuck. But the grain truck has been sitting longer than the Farmall A, and it didn't take much to get the grain truck running. But the Farmall, the little tractor, it's a big fight to even get it to want to turn over. So you know, I don't know why it's like that. You know, and that tractor ran when I was a little kid, because I remember being on that when I was a little kid. So it has ran in my lifetime, but it was just, you know, when I was just a little kid. So now, mind you, it has been sitting for a lot of years too, because like I said, last time it ran, I was just a little kid. So it's still been, you know, close to 20 years that it's sat, but the grain truck sat longer. And for some reason, the truck didn't freeze up like that, you know, it didn't seize up. So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have any words. I don't know how to explain it to you, because even I don't know. Because it shouldn't be stuck. So, but if we can't save that engine, this will probably be it's if I had to get another engine for it, it would be its second engine. Because the first engine also took a shit, the original engine, which we still have. I think that's the one that's sitting in the garage where the big tractor used to sit, the 400, when that used to sit in the garage there. I think that's the engine that's sitting in the corner. They kept the engine, I guess maybe for parts, or thinking maybe one day they'd fix it, but I imagine that engine's all fucking seized up too, because I imagine it's been sitting even longer. It still has oil in it too, believe it or not. So they obviously didn't, I don't know what their points of pulling it out, but well, it had engine problems, so that's why they pulled it out. But why they never had it rebuilt, I don't know. But somehow they were able to. Well, that engine, because I remember my uncle telling me the story. That engine that's in there now, and that little Farmall A, come out of a combine. So supposedly, when they had combines back in the day, those little Farmall, or those little whatever they were, McCormick combines, and they had their own little engines on them. It was obviously the same engines as what these Farmall A's have, little 25 horse tractor engines or whatever. I don't know. So I think these Farmall A's are only rated like 25 horse, even though they look bigger than that, and you think they'd be rated for more, but I think they're only 25 horse. And that's just on the engine, never mind what the PTO is. The PTO is obviously even less. So, but yeah, and then yeah, so trying to find another engine like that would probably wouldn't be impossible, but I wouldn't want to go to like a junkyard where engine's been sitting for years. You'd have to go to someone that has rebuilt these engines, basically buy a brand new engine, but try to find one that's been rebuilt and that you know that it's not stuck. That's the only way, but that's a big fucking job. So, and then, which really pisses me off, I'm probably not even going to be able to use the cutter that's on there because it has that side-mounted sickle bar cutter. Well, to raise and lower that off the ground and put it on the ground for cutting, put it in the transport for road travel. To do that, to raise and lower, it actually runs off the tractor's exhaust. Well, the pipe for that cracked because I was trying to break the connection because I'm trying to remove very little parts. So I'm leaving the headers on and part of the exhaust pipe. Well, the muffler's shot, but the rest of the pipe's all right for now. So I'm trying to leave all that on there without having to really remove a lot of stuff. Well, you can remove that pipe. There's a little steel or cast iron pipe or whatever the hell it is, but it has a big nut on it that you can break free, and then you can disconnect that from the exhaust thing. So I went to do that. I soaked it in some WD-40 for a few minutes, let it try to soften everything up. Instead of doing that, it just cracked the pipe. But I think the pipe's obviously been broken for a while because you can tell how it's kind of rusted over the previous break compared to mine. So, and then another thing is that you're never going to find this other part, but it has, since this cutter runs off the exhaust for raise and lower, it has this little bypass valve on it where basically you just have a rod that goes to your seat, and then when you want to raise your cutter bar, you either push or pull the lever, which then in that little bypass valve, well, it's a big valve thing, it basically either opens or closes a valve, and then it directs the exhaust either through your muffler or through that pipe, goes down, goes into like another big cylinder, and then that's what does your lifting. So since the pipe is cracked and that whole bypass valve thing is kind of, it's there, but it's pretty beat up. Of course, I mean, it gets hot too, obviously, from years of use. So, because that's how my great-grandparents cut hay. They cut hay with that little Farmall, and then, you know, then they pick it up from there. So, but the problem is one little bit of it's cracked, which you probably could just JB weld it and it'd be fine. It needs a new gasket in between the two. Again, you could probably just make your own gasket for it, something that's heat treatable or that can withstand heat. And then the bolts, I think that's sandwiched together. You could easily just replace the bolts, cut the old ones off, and put new ones in. But I'm afraid to even take it apart because it's just so wore out. And I don't think you're ever going to be able to find another one. You would have to literally go to somebody, take the old one off, send it in to somebody that could maybe make a brand new piece out of that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be pretty, but as long as I can still operate it, and I can replacing the pipe's not going to be a problem because you can get pipe anywhere. But the problem is you know, to get the pipe that's broken out of that valve, you know, because it's cracked inside, it broke off inside the valve. So I don't really know how you could remove it. I know they make tools out there that you probably could use to remove them, but I really don't know if that's going to work for something that's so old and you know, that's probably just so soft because of age and heat. So that was kind of the main reason. And then the other main reason to why I wanted to get the tractor running, because I wanted to use a sickle bar on it for maintaining the trail, the ditches, and the field. You know, cut that flower shit off in fall when it grows back enough that you can cut it, and I'd cut it and rake it and feed it to our cows. So it's not very much there, mind you, but it gives you something to do. So, but yeah, it sucks, unfortunately. I'm not pissed off too much about the pipe because I can easily replace the pipe, but it's how to remove the broken piece that's inside the valve is the $1 million question. How would you do it without wrecking threads or whatever, you know? So again, I don't know if I could take that piece off and send it somewhere and tell this guy to make a brand new piece. I mean, I don't think it's that hard. Like, I mean, it's not a hard... It's not like you need a big fancy printer and all this shit. Like, I think it's just basically 2 plates, you know, and then you have a valve in the center, and then you got a hole. You got 2 holes, one for the exhaust to go out and then one to go sideways. And then you just have like imagine a metal plate inside that you raise or lower depending on what you want to do with it. So you have it go up, and that'll let your exhaust probably go up, you know, through the muffler, or you close it, and then it will divert the exhaust to your big cylinder, and that's how you raise and lower it. It's not hydraulic because there's no hydraulics on this tractor. Because hydraulics weren't really a thing back then. And I don't really want to have to buy another Farmall A just to have around, because this one needs a lot of work. It could use a brand new paint job, but there's no sense of repainting it when you don't even have it running in the first place. And I have no clue who the hell would even rebuild the rear end in those tractors, because it all leaks. So, but I don't know, maybe someday we'll find somebody, but unfortunately, if we do find somebody, they're probably going to be pretty far away from home, and I'm either going to have the tractor itself shipped up there, or one day I'm going to have to get a really reliable pickup truck and haul it down there myself. It'd be a pain in the ass, but you want a fully functional tractor, or do you want a tractor that pisses oil every time you use it? So it doesn't pour out. It's a drip, but it's gonna get annoying when you want to put in 8 hours worth of work and then you got to stop it after so many hours and check your oil level again. So the engine doesn't leak oil, but the rear end leaks oil. So I don't know. It sucks, but what can you do? So. But like I said, I don't know if that valve thing can ever be replaced, and I don't know how I'd get that cracked piece of pipe out of there. Because if I could replace the pipe, then I'd be all right again. But I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So, but to have to tear it apart, it sucks. Because the only thing I can think of doing now, because that cylinder's soaked for like 3 years now in that 50-50 mix. The only thing I can try now is just heat the damn bastard up with a torch. My little propane torch that I have. Probably wouldn't want to get it cherry hot, but you're definitely going to want to get it hot to, because I think there's rust in there. That's the problem. How rust got in there, I don't know. How moisture's getting in, I don't know, because it had spark plugs in it. It had the hood on. It wasn't a building for a lot of its years, even though the roof leaked. But somehow it just, that one cylinder decided to say, frick you, I'm going to lock up tighter than a tick's ass. So what the hell do you do? So fortunately, I have the choice, because I got to see what the hell's going on. I got to know if I'm going to be able to even save this engine, or if I'm going to have to somehow try to find a remand one and put a brand new motor in it, or a remand. If I have to put a remand in it, that's going to suck ass. That's a lot of fucking work. So, but I don't know. I'm just hoping maybe by heating it up, because there's got to be rust in there or something. Usually they say that if you have rust in your threads of a bolt, in your nut, they say if you heat it up, you can expand the nut and then you'll break the seal of the rust or whatever's causing the stickiness. So if I can do that with that cylinder, get that cylinder hot, maybe get the sidewall a little bit hot, maybe that would crack the rust that's in there, and then maybe it would start to move a little bit. So of course, I don't know if you don't want to score the walls. So you would have to keep lubing it and then try to just maybe rock the engine back and forth by hand. And maybe hopefully over time it would just kind of gently wear the metal or wear the rust down. Worst, you would have to pull the piston out, but I don't really want to do that either because that's a hell of a job. So hopefully I can just get away with maybe just, if I do get it broken free, I can just gently break the rust away as that piston goes up and down. So I don't know, but it sucks that I gotta tear this motherfucking engine apart because it's not something I wanted to do. I didn't like doing it on the grain truck, but I had to because I had dropped the stick in there. But that's why I decided to buy these breaker bars, and these other tools here were for when I was getting the tires off, or was going to remove the tires on the grain truck. So since I'm not doing that now, I guess I'll put those tools back in my toolbox. But I don't know why International had to do it, but I don't know how it is for the other passenger side tire, but on the driver's side, the loosening and tightening of the bolts is backwards from how it would normally be. So it was like that on that old International trailer too. It was actually what is it? Lefty tighty, and then it's the opposite of whatever it is now. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, so it'd be righty loosey, lefty tighty. So it's backwards. Why they thought that was a thing back then, I don't know. I guess they were worried about wheels flying off, but quickly found out that that's not the case. So I wish I could have that changed over to just regular. I don't see why you can't. You think you could find those studs somewhere? Just get new studs that are normal and just shove them in there. But I don't know. So nothing wrong with these studs that are in there now. They're not cracked or wore out or anything. They're perfectly fine. So whatever. So anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. Just want to give you guys an update that I got some more tools. Got some breaker bars, or pry bars, I mean. And then a couple of cans of paint. And then, yeah. And I got my oil and stuff for the John Deere, so. But, yeah. Anyways, other than that then, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm done. So, I'm going to take off and probably do a little bit of gardening tonight, I guess. Maybe plant a few things in some grow bags or whatever, and then call it a day. So, yeah. Alright, guys, I'm going to take off. So, I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.